to shortly talk about the policy recommendations that we have on the project. So the floor is yours.
This one?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Nicola, for the introduction. My name is Brigitta, and I am representing the Stockholm Environmental Institute Tallinn Center. And I will be giving a short overview of the policy recommendations done on the EU level that were done in the scope of this project. So the aim of the report was to give an overview of the existing policies that support the needs in the EU and all of the project partner countries. And secondly, to identify the missing links and the barriers that could be improved. So on the right, you can see a little scheme of how this was done. Firstly, a literature overview was done, which was then followed by the authors analyzing the previous step. And finally, some online meetings and numerous workshops and also expert interviews with the stakeholders were held. Then national reports were gathered from all of the project partner countries. And we in SEI Tallinn finalized it into a final report. So the report has been submitted to the lead partner and the fund operator. And from our side, the follow-up is that the communications manager has written an article about this to the EU Youth Employment magazine, which will be published soon in July. So the report consisted of 6 categories: education and training, labor market and business innovation, youth and need status, programs and action plans, communication and the social psychological aspect, and insularity. So education and training, and I'm focusing on the key measures that were given. So career advice and lifelong learning opportunities should be offered to the youth on green jobs, as well as online training and education opportunities. The European Social Fund should establish a specific share for environmental education for the youth and needs that are also in line with the EU commitments like the Green Deal and Next Generation EU. Vocational training should be offered and also included in the EU policies. Support has to be given for entrepreneurship and building green and digital skills. And finally, I think this is the most important one, a centralized EU student loan system should be developed that takes into consideration the additional costs of traveling and accommodation that apply for the youth in islands. So labor market and business innovation, minimum guaranteed wage should be set. That is like in accordance with the job position to minimize the dissymmetry between the expectations and reality in the job market. Targeted support schemes should be offered to farmers and also for startups in the green economy. Another important thing is digitalization of public services and also the business sector to eliminate the bureaucracy. Continuous training should be offered to the counselors to provide support for business innovation as well as the green development. And the mandatory share of the next long-term EU budget and the Next Generation EU should support the innovation in green areas so that we meet the socio-economic recovery goals and also the Green Deal goals. So, as we all know, needs are a heterogeneous group with various subgroups, and they all have different needs. They may have a different background in education. Some of them are more vulnerable groups. Some are affected by poverty, or it could be like young mothers, or should even have a criminal background. So what we need is individual focus, prevention methods, and ASAP action. Also, more positive communication tools should be used to improve the quite negative associations that right now are there when we define a need. And adequate financial support or at least online options should be offered to the youth who are from islands, so that at least they get experience by volunteering. For the programs and action plans, the most important thing is to strengthen the bottom-up approach so that we can ensure the maximum level of participation and make the people feel that they are really part of the solution and this is their idea. Then place-based development approach for policies to revitalize the geographically isolated areas that are islands. And we also need support by stronger communication on individual needs and also more thematic field solutions. So actually we need more YENESIS. And for communication, we know that what works is direct communication. So word of mouth measures, peer-to-peer communication, social media, and also working with student associations rather than universities. And the psychological aspect of unemployment should be included in all the programs mentioned. And lastly, insularity. The measures that cover extra costs to island participants should be in the EU initiatives. We also could subsidize the construction of affordable housing for young professionals who want to move to the islands or are already living on the islands. Also, apprenticeship programs should be offered because islands usually don't have many expertise. So to get the external expertise, this is needed for the mentoring. Also, non-repayable funds could be offered to micro companies because they usually have a lack of manpower or some kind of financial constraints. And lastly, the EU funds need to establish specific conditions for islands because of their vulnerability that you're all familiar with. This is all from my side. If you have any questions, I'm glad to answer them. No? Okay, no questions. Thank you.
Yeah, you can come, please. We need, because Nicola should announce you, but yeah, it's.
You are this one, MRCC.
Yeah. Yep, I just announced myself. Hi everybody, my name is Malene Vike, and I will present a good practice that actually respond to several of the points that you just gave us. And also I want to show how we did it with policies. So that is the policy recommendation side of it. I tend to struggle standing in one point when I present, so this is a bit of a challenge. Yeah, have it at least on emergency, emergency service. If I need to move, I can use the microphone. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, which I will give you an insight to during this presentation, I want to start with this picture. Because to be outside work and education is a challenge, it's scary, but also to take the opportunity to start your own business alongside those challenges is even more scary. So it's kind of like this. You're on the edge. What to do next. And then you can take a leap of faith. This is actually the marketing material we use for our entrepreneurship program. Because the entrepreneurship program that I want to present to you is kind of the safety net. When you do this, you need a safety net. So what can the county council, which I represent, do for as a system to create a safety net for the one doing this? And this is what we have done in Møre and Romsdal County Council, we have started a program to kind of guide and help all the ones that wants to start their own business. And it's called hoppide.no, which is actually take a leap of faith. It means to take the jump, take what you saw in the last picture. And that is the entrepreneurial program for our region. And it started in 2007. I actually managed the startup of the program way back when. And it's operated by the county council. This program is managed through partnership agreements with municipality, with the county, mayor, same. Innovation Norway and the different people that we need to collaborate with. It's different from area to area. But it's signed by mayor and it's kind of linked to politicians. The politicians need to agree and they need to sign by the mayor of each municipality. And there we collaborate with school, universities and unemployment services that I will talk more about after this slide. And we have Hoppid offices that provide services for the entrepreneurs in each municipality. We have 26 offices and 26 municipalities. And we have 50 advisors connected to this system. And to those advisors, now I relate some of the points in the previous presentation, we provide certification courses and follow-up to keep them on their toes and keep them educated to what the change in the world. For now, it's the green transition, so it's all about sustainability. But we also provide courses and network for the startups together with the advisors, for the startups themselves, for the advisors themselves. And we also give low-level funding opportunities, which we call the Hoppid funding, 3,000 euros approximately to start up. And we also provide the marketing and the brand that you see, the logo. And we also have developed a digital tool for the startups. Everything that we do is linked to policy and is defined now as a long-term program in our region. And this is really the basis for success, to implement it in the policies. We also collaborate with the Norwegian Labour and Welfare Administration. All the Hoppid offices do that because in Norway, entrepreneurs are able to keep their unemployment benefits up to 12 months when starting their own business. But to do that, they need to apply and they need to meet some criteria. And it's of course a digital application. And they need to show that they are creating a new business that able the applicant to be self-employed. They also need to own more than 50% of the shares in the startup. So that is the criteria that needs to be met. It's also a lot more that is shown through the digital sheet that you need to answer. And then they collaborate with the entrepreneurial service, Hoppid, the advisors, help with the application to get the benefit, to show that the idea is meet the different criteria. So there we have a really important collaboration for the needs and the ones starting up. And then I want to also give you kind of a sneak peek to the digital tool because it's important to meet everyone independent on where they live. Now we talk rural areas because it's no doubt that the hubs in the cities, they provide better service. It's better to be located in the cities if you are starting up. This is how it's been everywhere, I think. So we have now developed this service so that this can be not that big a deal. So here we have a full kind of interaction between the advisor and the entrepreneur, and they put their cases in. This is just the dashboard for the advisor to see the cases. We get real-time statistics. We can see if there are lack of activity in some municipalities. As county council, we can then provide services. Because we know, okay, you don't have any entrepreneurs. Is something wrong? Can we help with something? Do you need something? So it's kind of fresh data that we get as county council to take action. So it's really important that we have that one. Also, it is built upon this kind of scheme. This is the entrepreneur's site. They put in case information, they put in purpose, they put in resources. They just build it up and they get a complete business idea that they, for instance, can bring to the bank. They can bring it to the people who want to invest in the business, because they get a complete business plan out of this. They can print it, they can put their logos in it, they can make it more market valuable, and then they can use it. And this is functioned by, yeah, we also have e-learning, I have to say that. We have videos before each section. You can go in and look at the video, what it means, what are we asking you to fill in. And also we have example cases that you can watch. So you don't have to go and move to courses. You don't have to put your body into a car and drive to participate in a course. You can just take the e-learning course. And then you just work your way through the business plan. And then you put in like post-it notes. You answer questions. What is the core competence that will make you unique? These is questions we all know, but you answer it like post-its. And in the end, you get a complete plan. Also, you can see up on top that you can apply for grants, and that is the HOPID grant, and it's all treated in this digital system. And you also have the advisor notes, and way to the right, you have the communication between the advisor and the entrepreneur. So this is, for us, it's been a great success. We launched this in November 2019, just before COVID hit, so we did not close our service down. Because we were open 24/7, because we have this. So for us, that was luck, that was pure luck. It's no talk about anything else. No one could have foreseen COVID, but it was lucky for us. And here is the application for grants. And this is really important. We believe that 26 HOPID offices organized with partnership agreements with startup advisors in collaboration with the employment services, in collaboration with schools and universities, and using digital tools to empower the young entrepreneurs, give some more equal service, independent of postal codes. Thus, we give the young situated in rural areas more of a chance to create their own workplace. And the policies, just short, policy procedure to succeed. In the county council, we are the managing authority. So we develop the policy, and of course the politician, they give their green stamp or not on the policy. They approve it, and it's 2 levels for us. It's the strategy that lasts 4 years, and then you have the yearly action plan. The yearly action plan is connected directly to finance. And the development of projects, they need to be defined in the strategy and then implemented through the yearly action plans with actions and funding. So initially, we always give advice to apply for external funding for your project to prove its success, and then you can implement it in the long-term planning and action plans. For instance, the digital tool for startups, in the first strategy, it was mentioned like we need to be more digital. That was the general kind of point of attention in that plan. And then we said, okay, then we can develop a digital tool. We applied for funding. We proved its success. And today, the strategy is talking concrete about the digital tool. So the last 4 years, digital strategy, really important to go digital. Now, it's a digital tool for startups. So then we get the funding we need to keep it up. So why have we succeeded with this project or program? We have a strong and defined first-line service system for startups. And in this system, we have joint goals, and we have the certification and courses to deliver equal and high-quality service. Everything is defined. Everything is agreed upon in the partnership agreement. We have used user-oriented development, the design thinking, and all the... We have included the advisors, we have included the entrepreneurs in everything we have done. Everything we have developed, we have failed many times, gone back to the drawing board, presented a new result. We have created defined projects to develop customized service. We have gotten external grants to do that. We have proven its success, and now it's implemented. So for us, when it comes to youth employment, the key is the collaboration with the people that you need on board. So entrepreneurship and our services towards unemployment, the collaboration that we have, empower the young outside work and education, we think. For us, entrepreneurship has become a really, really important tool to tackle different challenges that we have. We will definitely keep on developing that. So, thank you. Questions? Sorry. I managed to be in one place. I'm impressed with myself. Yes?
Thank you, Malene. That was a great presentation, and congratulations for the tool and what you have done. I have only one question for you. You said that through the platform you can create the business plan with the logos and everything on it. Do you have any examples or experience with people that applied to the banks for a loan with the business plan and the result was successful, or they consider positively that it went through the Hobbit platform?
Yeah, we have, it's especially actually with the Innovation Norway system, where they apply for grants and loans. The Innovation Norway is kind of a national system, and they say that the applicants from our region is more successful because of this tool. Because they are more they have more structure in their application, and they can transform everything just straight into what they need in the Innovation Norway company. And also several have transformed their business plan and adjusted it to kind of be a bit more with the logos and the colors and everything. So we know that several have succeeded, but I don't have a concrete example other than the numbers and the stories that we get from Innovation Norway, which is a big loaning institution for us, actually. They provide a lot of loans for the startups. So.
Thank you for presentation, and it looks like safety net or parachute quite well. So did you have a request to transfer it or sell it to the other countries, regions, or how the tool? Because it seems very efficient. So, for example, I would like to apply it in Croatia.
Yeah, the way we worked is this was it was initially just an idea to transform our system into the new century, and then we were contacted by a supplier that had the same thoughts, and then together with them, I had the presentation of what I wanted, and then the supplier contacted me. So we have worked together to kind of customize a service through external grants. So we have a supplier that actually provide the backbone of the platform. We provide the knowledge, what needs to go in, and the courses and topics and stuff like that, but they provide the backbone. So it's a supplier for us that delivers the customized platform. So they are available, of course. I didn't put their contact information here because that's, but you, yeah.
We can exchange it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I said to you.
Hi. I have 1,000 questions.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Yeah, I was wondering just if you can tell maybe very practically, do they have to, the participants, do they have to live or register the company in the county? And also maybe if you have any numbers on whether it has helped with the population or drawing in people in the county. I don't know if this is something you know.
Yeah, we actually get business cases from all around the country. I say that as long as the initial startup is planning to start in our region, they can use the platform from wherever. I don't care. Because then we can connect them to the advisor to where they want to move. And they start to work, and then we can attract more people in. So we do that actively. So we use it as an attraction tool, we do. Get good feedback on that, but we are still in the early beginnings. The number and amount of cases are rising. Also, we haven't had a decline at all in startups, and bankruptcy hasn't risen in our region when it comes to startups during this difficult time that we've been in. Everything is stable. So I think it has some kind of, this cannot take all the credit, but I think it's important to have the system behind to give the safety net, even still. So it has contributed, at least some of it, I think. I don't want to take because it's the entrepreneurs, that's the stars. So I don't know if I catched all the question. More? No? Thank you.
Just to announce the next speaker, and I apologize for not announcing Marlene before, because I kind of thought that I could be on two places at the same time, but apparently the physics doesn't allow it, so I couldn't be both here and doing the interviews in the next room, so I apologize once more. If I'm not here, I asked Savas to take my place and to announce the next speaker next time. So now we are going to have a speech about environmental policy, green growth on island regions of Greece, and I would like to invite our next speaker to join us for the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind invitation to be here with you and to have an option about things that we can be done if someone has inspiration and the others has a willing to work hard. I'm talking about green in blue. I'm coming from Greece. We know that we love blue very much and we have plenty of blue. So we can see how green can be with blue in a nice matter. I come from the Hellenic Ministry of Environment and Energy. Especially I come from the Executive Authority of the Partnership Agreement Environmental Sector, an agency that was established in 2014. The main subject of my agency is to support the ministry and its agencies for the specialization of the needs in environmental policy, and to enhance its capacity in order to implement the operational program of the NRSAF. In other words, we are his colleagues in policy planning. We specialize and we facilitate implementation of funded projects or actions from the European Structural Investment Funds through the National Strategic Reference Framework from the period 2014 to 2020, and now for the new programming period 21 to 27. We also manage other programs like from European Economic Area Financial Mechanism. We are the program operator of the program GR Water Management, and it's taking place on the islands. How we are involved with this very nice project and very innovative, and I'm glad to be here as a policy stakeholder. And how we see Yenesis, we see that there is green. The ministry loves green and tries to see what is happening with green. And we see islands, and we have projects in islands, and we think that we can do and we can share our experience and our knowledge with your partner from Greece. You know that under our work, we have to promote the European Green Deal, the European environmental policy known as European Green Deal. So we have to put my country, Greece, on a pathway to sustainable future without leaving anyone left. We have to make Greece cleaner, greener, healthier, and with sustainable, resilient, and growing economy. Of course, you know, all of you know about the European Green Deal and its objects about zero pollution, transition to circular economy, about agriculture and food with strategies like farm to fork and green agriculture policy, the just transition mechanism and its financial tools. We have to make cleaner, renewable, and affordable energy to achieving climate neutrality, sustainable transport, of course, and we see how our islands can support sustainable transport, and to preserve Europe's natural capital. We all know that European policy has not a European dimension, but it has also a global dimension. Europe tries to make bilateral efforts with other countries. Europe tries to establish energy plans with Africa, and especially with Egypt. We try to make a Paris Agreement an essential element of trade agreements, and to adopt geographic and thematic strategies to support sustainable management of natural resources. Who is getting involved in this strategy in every country's citizens, business, schools, neighborhoods, churches, villages, consumers, things that already have spoken here in previous panels. And this is a Climate Pact, initiative that is under the European Green Deal and tries to everyone to know about Green Deal. And now we come to the Greek island, to the blue. European Union has inaugurated an initiative known as Clean Energy for European Islands Community. It has created a platform for clean energy transitions for 2,200 European islands. Greece has inaugurated its initiative known as Greco Islands, with the object to transform Greek islands into models of green economy, energy autonomy, digital innovation, and ecological mobility. You see the specific targets of this initiative of Greco Islands: green transformation, e-mobility, electrification of transport, sustainable management of water and wastewater, energy efficient, digital infrastructure, increased use of renewable energy sources. There are 12 Greco islands: Tilos, Chalki, Simi, Syros, Sifnos, Ikaria, Samos, Chios, Peches, Trizonia, Zakynthos, and Crete, When you see the number 3 are the first three, Tilos, Halki, and Simi. Number 2 belongs to Cyclades, that is Syros and Sifnos. Ikaria is on your right hand, and then is Samos, and above them is Chios. Zakynthos is the Ionian Sea, Adriatic Sea. Trizonia is among Peloponnesus and mainland. And in Peloponnesus is Spetses, near Attica. The first island that Greece want to have it as a model for energy transition is Halki. Is one of the 3 islands, number 3. It's very important for us for geopolitical reasons too, not only for energy and green growth, but also for geopolitical reasons in the area. The other famous island of Greece is about Tilos. Tilos is famous in European energy policy because has shifted away from traditional fossil fuel. He has established a solar park and wind turbine hybrid system, and its plan for the future is to install an electric vehicle charging station island-wide. You see on the right hand the exact position of Tilos. But except of Greco Islands, the 12 islands, there are many, many islands in Greece that we try to have green growth, like the island of Lipsi, that she wants to be energy security and to reduce energy dependence and to reduce its footprint in the atmosphere. Except of Greco Islands, there is a Stipaile Island that is a very interesting situation where the state has signed an agreement with a company, the Volkswagen, with the aim to establish a mobility system referring both to public and private transportation based on renewable energy. And we want Stipalia to be a model island for climate neutral mobility. And now I come to a very interesting for us and innovative project that we want to support and to present it under the initiative of the new European Bauhaus. That is an initiative that brings culture and creative dimension of the European Green Deal. Furni now has been recognized as the ancient shipwreck capital of the world. On the right, you see some article press from all over the world. How important is this island, not only for its environment, but also for the history, not only of Europe, of Greece, but also for Europe. And I will take 5 minutes more to make you a presentation about this case. Furni.
This one. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, thank you. This presentation came to us just yesterday, so you can see Greek letters, but I can't translate them in English. I apologize for this, but we thought that it's very important to present this case in order to see that we can do green growth and have young people to collaborate and to take part in development in blue and green colors. So this is a photo from the bottom of the sea. It says that it is the capital of ancient. Again, the press from USA and Europe about the shipwreck of Furni. This is the period that we had fightings. It's from 700. We have 3 fightings from classical era 3, from Hellenistic era. You see the centuries. Then it's Roman. at the end of the mine behind, and at the end of behind, and we have fightings, we have wrecks that we don't know which period are they. This is the team that began in 2015. You can see the team that works on these years. We have not 19 because we have COVID. This is a trial from the municipality. There is no funding in this, and the island, the municipality tries to find sources, funds, in order to promote further what they try to do. You see young people. So these are how they discover the wrecks from 15 to 18. This is the island, Furni. How the wrecks has been recognized in Greece and before Furni, and this is after Furni case. How many wrecks? This is the kind of amphories that were found in the wrecks. You see the kind again and the centuries that belongs. Very different, different centuries, different kind of amphories. Other fightings. The pictures from their work. Again. How hard they try to collect all of them. This is from a specific area. This is Zagreb 30. They have found 58 until now. The depth is 37 to 48. The date is BC. These amphories came from Kos. These amphories came from Black Sea. You see. These are from North Africa, Spain, and Portugal. From Cyprus. And they want to make this a park that everyone can visit it. This is the project and the dream and the vision of the island of Furni. This is what we want to make like a sustainable tourism, sustainable growth. This is how they work without money. And this is the symbol of their effort. Thank you. Questions, please.
Thank you, Dimitra, for the presentation. I hope the dream will become true for the islands. And it seems very interesting that there is a lot of history with so many shipwrecks in the area. And of course, I'm happy that I see sustainable tourism can be part of the island's economies, and especially for the youth unemployed people. I have only one question for you. I'm wondering whether the Ministry of Environment, the place we work, they consider the differences between the mainland Greece and the islands when they draft their policies. Do they follow the same approaches, or do they consider the islands are more vulnerable and they do follow some different strategies and approaches? This is my question.
Yes, of course, insularity is something that is the main characteristic of Greece. So in every policy that is designed, insularity is taken in mind, they are bear in mind, and even every island has different needs and different perspectives. So when we make environmental policy, we think about it. And we implement a European policy through different operational programs, through different region programs. So we have divided our islands of the Aegean in North and South Aegean. And our islands in the Ionian Sea, we have another operation program for the Ionian Islands. So we can have the big picture and the small picture on every island in our policy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? So thank you, Dimitra.
Thank you.
I would like now to invite Ms. Carla Berenguer from the Regional Directorate of Youth from Madeira Islands to listen more about challenges and best practices from Madeira Island.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the invitation, Hugo in particular, from Regional Agency for Energy and Environment of Madeira and all the stakeholders. It's a great honor for me sharing with you our regional youth programs. And I will try to share three of the most important that involve a lot of youth. Before showing the specifics of our programs, I will briefly outline our reality. The population of Madeira decreased 4% between 2011 and 2020, which represents a decrease of around 10,000 inhabitants. It is also important to highlight that 52% of the population is 45 years old or older, following the demographic trend of the aging that we face in Portuguese population. Regarding the youth population per municipality, the decrease of the percentage of youth is more accentuated in the north. It estimates around 5%, in contrast of the south, with around 77%. I can also highlight the municipality of Funchal, the main city of capital of Madeira Island, that caters around 38% of youth population in Madeira. In terms of youth unemployment situation, it is also important to take a look at some numbers. The population's unemployment rate has been decreasing since 2018, and it's currently estimated to be around 7%. This decreasing trend is hand in hand when we go to the youth ages ranging from 25 and 34, that went from 14 to 12%. In terms of education levels, in 2011, the percentage of people that had finished high school was 60%. It has increased in the last 10 years, reaching 80 in 2021. In the remaining levels of education, we also saw an increased rate. We look at the dropout rate since 2013, we see a decrease with a more significant percentage in men, going from 35 to 14%. In women, there is also a decrease, but less accentuated, being 8% in 2021. After giving you a quick framework of our reality, let me take a look of the main areas of our programs. We have 4 main areas that we can say that is learning, internships, volunteering, and entrepreneurships. As an example, we have developed 12 programs, regional programs, in addition to national and European programs such as Erasmus+, European Solidarity Corps, and Eurodyssey. As far as the programs requested to share with you today, I begin with the first one called Youth Information. It has been running for 41 consecutive years, and it is considered one of the most popular programs. It allows the integration of young people ages between 14 and 25. They collaborate in public services, non-governmental organizations, and municipalities. There is a great adherence to this program by the entities and by the youth. The indicators in terms of budget, application, participants, and entities show the success that this program continues to have since 1981. It has a budget of 432,000 euros for this year, allowing the opportunity for 1,800 youngsters to participate in more than 470 entities. This program runs in the months of July and August. There are many activities to choose from. The most sought after are the administrative activities, the support for children and young people in summer camps, and also beach surveillance. There are two schedule modes for this program, during the week or on the weekend, with a workload of 6 hours per day. In terms of scholarship or grants, they receive an average value of 220 euros per month. In 2018, the summer internship program was created aimed at students attending a higher education degree. Given that the degrees are mostly 3 years without a practical internships, this program allows the consolidation of new knowledge through direct contact with the job market. These internships last 1 month between July and September. Participants can start the activities on 1 day of the month. This flexibility makes it possible to conciliate with the exams or final periods, which is one of the most valued aspects by the participants. They receive a grant of 500 euros, which corresponds to half of the annual tuition fees. It is also a very important incentive given to the high costs of the education fees. Another feature of this program is that it requires candidates to actively seek out the market. It's their responsibility to reach out the entities. In 2019, we started this program with an expectation of reaching around 50 participants per year. The application surprised us, reaching 1,000 applications in 2021 and in 2022. The reception and the feedback of the entities is very positive. They take into consideration that there are no charges to the entities whatsoever. Given the high budget allocated to this program of around 450,000 each this year, each student can only participate once. The entities do not have a limit of the number of participants as long as they guarantee an advisor and the proper monitoring of the activities to each of the participants. This year, the participation of public and private entities was similar. In terms of areas, the ones that stand out are the social sciences, health, and social protection. Given the success of the summer internship program and the youth unemployment rate that still raise some concern, last year we created a new program aimed at the youth with a licentiate, master or doctoral degree. This internship lasts 3 consecutive months in an organization chosen by the candidate. In terms of selection criteria, there is a preference given to candidates that are older or have a higher education level. They can only participate in this program once. In 2022, more than 250 interns are participating in more than 200 entities, as you can see. Another important factor in this program is the monthly grant of 500 euros. Besides that, the entities don't have any type of costs or expenses. Despite the fact that this program is new, the participation and the budget is equally growing. As you can see, the receptivity is equitable from the public to the private sector. The predominant training areas range engineering, social area, and general services. This year, the areas with the most participants are the arts and humanities, social sciences, commerce, and law. In a macro perspective, you can see the evolution of these 3 programs over the last 3 years. Despite the pandemic situation that conditioned the functioning of all services, this program registered a growing trend in terms of application. Participants registered a growing trend and budget. Between 2020 and 2022, the budget duplicated in an amount exceeding 1 million euros, which represents a relevant investment for the regional budget. Taking into consideration that the non-formal education is our main focus, we seek to involve the youth through active participation. In this way, they can create contact networks between peers and institutions, whether for type of programs or other volunteering and mobility experiences for learning purposes. The empowerment of the youth through the acquisition of soft skills and practical skills is a determinant factor in acquiring a profile internship and innovation that is essential in building successful trajectories and job creation. These programs are just a few examples of what we do to prepare the youth of Madeira to the regional market, but also for the opportunities for the European or international level. Thank you very much for your attention. Here are my contacts. If you want to question anything, be my guest.
Thank you for a very nice presentation. Did you make a survey among the internship on the both sides, on the student side and the company side, just to see how these students find out these
Job?
exchanges? Yeah.
Yes.
And how, what are the impacts of this kind of exchange? Is it too short, or they prefer longer exchanges, etc.?
While they are studying, it's enough because it's the summer holidays. As we are a governmental youth department, we can't have competitive programs with the institute's employment. Okay, so our training must be short. It's not an employment internship. But the feedback is very positive by the entities and by the youth. So we decided to create this new program when they finish their formation. It's very, and the feedback of employment, it's very, very good, not too high, but it's positive.
Thank you for the presentation. I really like that you have customized programs for different target group, like the PhD students, unemployed people. That was really great. I don't have any question, but I think one of the programs has supported some of the Portuguese needs in the program. Yes. Yeah, this is the case. That's good for us because we didn't manage to secure some additional resources for the participants, and it's good that Madeira has its own program, and thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Any more questions?
Thank you.
And I would like now to invite another presentation from Greece. We'll get into the role of EOPEP in enhancing lifelong learning and lifelong guidance for Greece. And we have Dimitra Dede she's the head of the communication department and the National Organization for the Certification of Qualifications and Career Guidance.
So, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be with you in a real meeting. And I will pass some of the pages so as to gain time. So I will present which is the role of EOPEP and the new VET reform in Greece and the guidance provision in our country. EOPEP is the national organization for the certification of qualifications and vocational guidance in Greece. Operates under the supervision and of the Ministry of Education, and is based in Athens, and is a main pillar in the vast upgrading VET reform and LLL reform in Greece. VET is the abbreviation of Vocational Education and Training. LLL is the abbreviation of Long Life Learning. So I will use these terms. Our mission in EOPEP is to link education and training with the needs of labor market and to upgrade the professional skills and of the Greek workforce, in Greece. So we invest in our human capital. And we try to develop effective and qualitative services for VET and lifelong learning. According to our responsibilities, where we participate to the most European tools and networks who are related to qualifications transparency, to quality, to mobility, to career guidance development, such as we are the national coordination point for EQF. We have developed an 8-level EQF. EQF means the European Qualifications Framework, and we have developed our national qualifications framework, which is connected with the European one. We are the National Center of Europass, the National Center of Euroguidance about the guidance practitioners, the ECAVET, which is responsible for the quality assurance in the VET and LLL system. And we also are the national representative in REFERNET, which is the CEDEFOP network, which monitors and analyzes all the VET systems in Europe. So very briefly, our responsibilities, our main responsibilities among The others are the certification of qualifications. We certificate and we create certification schemes to certify graduates of initial vet and post-secondary apprentices, which are usually among the 3, 4, and 5 level of the qualification framework. We certify adult trainers and their teaching competence, and also we certify professionals specifically in technical occupations. In terms of our procedures to certification, we develop and certify the occupational profiles and the core programs of the occupational profiles, who leads to the curricula of the different specifications. This development is one of our core business, and we cooperate with the social partners and the representatives of all the sectors, and specifically in each occupational profile there are representatives of employers and employees of the occupation. We maintain in EOPEP different registries for our procedures. So we have a registry for the adult trainers. They only 20,000 adult trainers have been certified by EOPEP and registered, enrolled in the registry. All the LLL providers and the vet providers and post-secondary education, initial education, vet education, use the adult trainers from our registries. And we have also developed the registry for the qualifications in Greece, for the Greek qualifications which are awarded in all the level of the educational system, the formal educational system. And also we very recently have created the Career Guidance Counselors Registry. We see about this again later. We are licensing the LLL providers and the awarding bodies. And according to the Euro Guidance Center, we are creating and provide tools and services in career guidance professionals. I will analyze this responsibility according to the occupational profile. Let's see, the certification of career guidance counselors is an example of all the cycle of our responsibilities. So we can see how a certification scheme is operating. We developed the occupational profile with the participation of the social partners, as I said before, as I mentioned, and the occupational profile, each occupational profile describes and analyzes which are the functions and the tasks that can be performed of this occupation. It also describes the conditions of the work and the learning outcomes that are necessary to perform this this profession. Each occupational profile also includes the modular and training programs which can be used in from LLL providers in continuing training. EOPEP has set in last years the special register for the certified career guidances, career practitioners, and very recently has approved the ministerial decision which covers the conditions for the recognitions of qualifications of the career guidance counselor practitioners. We see that according to the certification process and according to the occupational profiles, there is a two-level certification and two levels of professionals, the basic level and the expert level. The expert level includes the professionals who are owners of career guidance degrees in level 6, 7, and 8. That means they have bachelor or master or PhD in career guidance. And the basic level of professionals, they have any degree in any bachelor, but they have experience and they take trainee and seminars in career guidance. So we already have in our registry the expert who will contribute to the certification of the basic level professionals. Which is the role of OPEP in the new vast VET reform and LLL reform in Greece? According to the recent law for VET, Greece has adopted all the priorities and policies according to the VET reform, according the VET recommendation and Osnabrück declaration. According to this law, OPEP is a main pillar in this reform and contributes to the governance of the new reform in Greece and to the strategic plan. Which are the characteristics in VET in our country? Unfortunately, its low social prestige, its reduced attractiveness, and its questionable effectiveness. So, despite we have in Greece very low rates in school dropouts, we have very high rates in university graduates and well-educated people. We have the highest youth unemployment rate in Europe. That means that the skills do not meet the needs in labor market. We all know the VET recommendation and the Osnabrück. I will pass. These are the EU policies which are have been adopted by the Greek government to face and to tackle these very important challenges. The attractiveness, as I saw, the low attractiveness, the mismatching between the qualifications in the labor market, our very high youth unemployment, the shift to the digital skills, technology, and the green development, climate emergency and environmental crisis, the lack of certification of qualification credibility. We have very obsolete and old curricula for VET programs, and we have very devaluated laboratory infrastructure and outdated specialties which are mismatched with the labor market. So, Greece has developed a new strategy plan for VET according to the EU policies to strengthening the quality assurance, the extroversion, the equal access, the digital and green transformation, to upgrade its infrastructure and the equipments in laboratories, in VET laboratories, in VET schools, and to make VET and LLL more attractive and modern for people. So, according to the CEDEFOP and the EU recommendation, all the members have to plan their national strategic plans, the NIPs, for the next 3 years, which have described specific activities according to their strategic plans. And these specific activities have to be in, to have their budgets and their milestones and their, let's say, exact plannings described. So according to our NIPS, which is the role of EOPEP, at first EOPEP plays a role both in designing and in implementing the NIPS. Our Greek NIPS includes 3 packages of measures. Each one is coherent with the other, and it covers 3 pillars of VET. That means VET, vocational education and training, lifelong learning, and also youth, policies for youth. The specific actions for the first package is the target of this is to strengthen the link among VET and labor market. So there are these huge amounts that we mentioned before of billions, millions, etc. of the funding tools, of the European funding tools, ESF, both, and the Recovery and Resilience Fund, that are funding all these activities of our NIPS. So the first package is for the reinforcing of the apprenticeship schemes, and for the post-secondary years, the apprentices have been reimbursed for their to enhance the apprenticeship. Also, the internship schemes for the post-secondary education and initial training, and the updated occupational profiles, which have been connected with core programs as a key element to modernize the VET. Here is the role of EOPEP. EOPEP has, in this context, has produced already and approved a methodological tool for the development of occupational profiles. And for the by 2025, we will certify 200 new occupational profiles, or new, or we will update the old ones, which promote horizontal skills for green and digital. Also, we give the priority most in these professions who emphasize on energy, environment, and digital economy. So the occupational profiles have these 2 roles. The one is to give the priority to the occupations according to the digital and green economy, and on the other side, the programs and the core include horizontal, the enhancement of the skills according to this, according to the digital and green procedures, and the enhancement of the professionals, of the green professionals. Excuse me. Yes. And the second package, the measures are for the digital transformation and the laboratory equipment upgrade. This concerns also the digitalization of EOPEP, which includes measures to transform both the administrative and organizational operations by itself, the EOPEP, and the development of the digitalization of the certification processes. Also, the laboratory equipment for more than 100 laboratory centers will be improved and updated by 2025. The third package measures concerns the vet quality upgrade. That means that we have established 25 model vocational upper secondary schools, which include renovation of buildings, the supply of the equipment, and the establishment of 5 thematic and experimental vet institutions. And EOPEP here has the role to upgrade the quality of the human resources who are contributed to the system. That means the trainers, and the adult educators, and also the guidance practitioners. They will be all trained in digital transformation. They will be trained to use educational practices for distance learning and digital education. And they will all these measures will be disseminated also by EOPEP. So the expected effects of this Greek strategic plan is to improve the labor market relevance of vet and the professional sectors, to enhance employability and social inclusion, to facilitate these work transitions, to provide more opportunities for vet graduates and trainees, to modernize vet, to provide state-of-art equipment, and to enhance quality of vet provision in career guidance counseling. We will certify under this procedure 2,000 newcomers, practitioners in career guidance by 2025. Very briefly, we want to make vet more sexy in choice in Greece, because as our number shows, vet is not attractive from parents and youth, and also the contribution to this vet transition has many obstacles by the philosophy and the culture of education in Greece. So I think that we meet our expected effects to shift more youth to vet education. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Do we have questions from the audience? Okay, if not, thank you once again for the presentation, and we are wrapping it up for the morning session of the today. I will now kindly invite you all to join us for the lunch. Just to give you a few information about it, it is in the hotel restaurant, which is on the 0 level, so not here on this floor. You have to go 1 floor down. I think that they are expecting us there. Also, for the afternoon, for those of you who are joining us, we will start with the city tour here in front of the hotel at 6 o'clock sharp, so try to be here. We will wait a couple of minutes to see if anyone's late, of course, but yeah, we would like to avoid the situation that you are trying to catch us up around the city. Also, the dinner at the restaurant, if you're missing the city tour, starts at 8. You can, of course, be a bit late, or if you come early, you'll wait a couple of minutes. For us, the restaurant is called Kapels Kaklet. You have the instructions on the agenda, which is in your bags, so you can find it easily. I think that's it for me for now. See you at the city tour and at the dinner, and also tomorrow in the morning when we start again. Okay, maybe just one note for the tomorrow World Cafe discussion. Maybe for those who are moderators, just to stay here for a few minutes, that we have a short meeting before the lunch. I hope that's okay. Okay? Thank you.